I don't know, Jeff, has it? I must have missed that.
Welcome back to Commentary Box Podcast. My name's Arj, and we have AJ again. How are you doing, mate?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. As you can see behind us, we're going to talk about the NFL.
Excited. I'm
Excited.
excited.
Yeah, season's starting soon.
It's been a long time, eh?
However, yeah, it has. But however, before we start, there's been a new set of questions.
Oh.
And I know you've been hit with a few of the older ones, but the one I've been asking recently is, at your ideal sports event, what is your choice of like food and drink?
Oh, that's a good one. What would be my ideal sports event? The cricket? Maybe the football? Let's say the NFL. Let's say the Super Bowl, right?
Okay, so your Super Bowl snack and drink.
Right. So in America, they do a big like bucket of chicken tenders at like stadiums. So
Yeah.
like at Yankee Stadium, they do like a it's like a $20 portion of like chicken tenders, and there are so many in there, and there's like a bunch of fries and stuff thrown in, and then obviously you got the beer and whatnot. I reckon that would be my go-to. Chicken tenders, skin on chips, and some beer. Coors Light. Coors Light.
We are not sponsored, but if you want to sponsor us,
Yes.
Coors Light.
They
that is
do.
what
They
we're
do many
drinking.
good Coors Light themed giveaways on their Instagram page, but they're
They do.
only for US residents, which is a bit sad.
Is that why you're moving to the US?
Yes.
Fair enough. Well, let's start. So obviously this season is the first year. All the owners approved it. 17 regular season games. I'm not sure how much of a difference it will make. I guess it's just an extra game for, the Giants or the Jets to lose. But yeah, it might have a small difference
But like on the player's body, it's gonna have people like, oh, they only play 16 games, right?
yeah.
And it's like, damn, you play one of those games and your team doesn't pick up like 3 or 4 injuries. Like that's a good weekend, right? Because there are times when I know like the Packers or the Steelers have played and they've come on, and someone's gone down first series, someone's gone down just before halftime, someone's gone down after halftime. Then after the game, they're like, oh, 2 other people picked up these sorts of injuries. They'll miss a few weeks, and then you realize that's why they have 53 players on the active roster.
Well, that sort of stuff ruins fantasy football for us as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, man. I'm just hoping my guys can stay healthy. Got Christian McCaffrey this year, hoping he's gonna be healthy for the season.
Yeah, AJ fixed the draft picks, so he put himself first.
It was pure luck that I was first. Normally I'm last, so it was really good to be first.
Yeah, to be fair, we've been
I've had some shocking picks over the years.
we've
but
had bad luck over the last few years. I got third, so I'll
not
take
bad,
that.
not bad. I mean, there was maybe last season before when Barkley got injured. I think he was first pick for someone,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he got injured, and it's just like, damn, that person's season's like done.
Well, even last year, CMC.
Yep, even
injured.
last year, CMC.
Yeah. Well, what we're gonna do is go through each division.
Sounds good. AFC first, of course.
No. NFC's listed first in the
That's that.
No.
No.
Nope. Well, I tried putting it in order. NFC North, East, Southwest, then AFC North, East, Southwest. So we can do that. We can go
end
AFC.
we can end on the AFC West
Yeah, there you go.
because Chiefs and whatnot.
Yeah.
So
Well, should we start?
We'll start with the NFC.
NFC North,
NFC North. Oh,
and that is a team I
home
support.
of the Packers.
Home of the Packers. Yeah. And aren't I glad that Aaron Rodgers is staying
for this year.
for this year?
Going into the future remains to be seen whether he'll be there.
But as he said, one last dance. Well, he didn't say. As he implied, one last dance.
Of course. And then it's Jordan Love's turn.
Yeah. I haven't seen much of him, but
First round.
Yeah.
A waste of a first round pick.
a
really.
waste at that point. It should have been a wide receiver, but hey ho, if they want to.
Randall Cobb's back.
Yeah, I still think he's third or fourth in the
But-
wide receiver.
But he's come back because Rodgers wanted him back. So
100%.
it's that personal connection, man. Rodgers gets the best out of the players he plays with, so.
He does. And outside of the Packers in that division.
No hope for the rest of the teams. Detroit I'm sorry, but Jared Goff's career is
Oh yeah.
is over for now.
I think
until he fights a new team.
I think the only team that I do see sort of not even challenging, but securing that second spot is the Vikings.
Yep.
Just because of their offensive threats. Jefferson, Thielen, all immense last year.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins is a bit temperamental.
He's hit and miss, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's hit and miss.
But, I think with Jefferson, Thielen,
I would...
and Dalvin Cook. Don't forget Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, they are a ground team now.
Yeah.
I would say that there are better odds of Kirk Cousins finally getting the vaccine than there are of the Vikings winning the division.
Oh, that is bad.
I mean, this guy, he's just been getting cloud for it. It's fantastic. He's like, oh, I'll have another read of the stuff. And someone's like,
Really?
oh, he'll never get in the vaccine because we know Kirk Cousins doesn't do second reads very well.
Fair. Well, I think that sort of settles out. We'll give our predictions.
Yeah.
First, second, third, fourth.
Packers.
What are you saying?
Packers.
Yeah, Packers.
Vikings.
I think Bears.
Bears upside. I mean, if Justin Fields is the real deal, like I want him to be, then, maybe Chicago can be priming themselves for a run in the next few years.
Maybe.
Big first season coming up, so it'll be really interesting to see. Lions, dumpster fire of an organization.
Yeah.
But, I mean, look, they got a lot for Stafford, so, I mean, they're in real rebuild mode now, so we'll see what happens going forward.
And that move was great for
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, Stafford and the team.
Big fan of Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's been one of the most underrated quarterbacks since he's come in the league. His team's always let him down, but now, if he's not going deep into the NFC playoffs, then I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, well, that is our 4 for the NFC North.
I'm happy with that.
Can move on to the East. And it's
the East is that one, but it's like, what? Some team has to win the division here.
Well, yeah, one of them probably with a negative record.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe the Cowboys this year with Dak healthy.
Yeah, but Zeke was so bad last year, so I'm not sure.
Expect him to bounce back.
I do, and I think they have. It's not a challenging division either.
Not at all.
With Washington, Giants, and the Eagles look hopeless this year as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't see any stars coming out of that. There wouldn't be an MVP candidate in that division.
Well, it's funny you say that. Dak, comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Very likely winner, I reckon.
This year.
Coming back off the injury, I reckon if he plays well, they can do it.
Could be Saquon Barkley.
Could be Barkley too, but the quarterback always rates.
Yeah, but also the Giants don't have a very good offensive line.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I don't think we can evaluate Daniel Jones truly as a quarterback until he has a line that can block for him. Yeah. Yes, he turns the ball over a lot, but I'd like to see what he could do if he could have someone that could actually stand in front of him and block.
That is true.
And they've got some weapons, but I mean, will they ever take advantage of them? That's the question.
They have weapons. I don't know if you can call them good weapons, amazing weapons.
But I like Ingram. Sterling Shepard's alright. Not too bad. Obviously, they got Saquon, so
yeah.
The question is, I mean, there are a bunch of defensive questions, but the O line is key, right?
Yeah.
But just going back to the NFC North, Packers by far favorites to win it because of Aaron Rodgers. But on the offensive line, they have suffered. Bakhtiari's going to miss the start of the season.
Yeah.
You lost the other guy, Lindsley, was it?
Yeah.
The center. He went to the Chargers. Yeah. He went to the Chargers. Massive.
I feel like there's been replacements, so
right,
and recruitment into that field. So,
but I mean, even then, they're lucky they have Aaron Rodgers, right? He can play around those kind of roster changes.
Yeah.
Young quarterbacks can't. They need dependable guys up front. So that's the question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot easier bringing a young quarterback into an experienced O-line rather than the other way around.
Yeah, for sure.
Even an experienced quarterback with a very young O-line isn't going to work well.
No, not at all.
So,
but Eagles, on that point, decent O-line. They've got some pieces there still.
Yeah.
Peters and Kelsey and co. So the question is, can Hurts do it? He looked good at the end of last season, but from what I hear from Eagles camp, I don't know. The jury's still out on him, so we'll see.
No, yeah. So who are we going to win that one?
It has to be the Cowboys. Yeah, and if they don't lose it, it'd just be funny because it's the Cowboys, right? But they have to win it.
You know what? I'm fancying Washington to do well as well because of their defense.
Yeah, and obviously we got Gibson at the running back position on my fantasy team as well. The coach says he wants to use him in a McCaffrey style role, and I'm very happy at the prospect of that because that is points galore.
Yeah, I'd say Washington finishing second.
I could go with that. Now it's just a toss up.
It is. I'd back Eagles a bit more than
The just the
Giants.
organizational stability of like you reckon the Eagles are going to come and give it a good go and
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll put the Eagles in front of the Giants, but I mean like there'll be very little to separate them all. It'll be like maybe one team will go like 9-7, the others might it's 17 games now, so
Yeah.
9-8,
Yeah.
and the others one might go 8-9, and one might go like 7-9, and then like a 5.
It'll probably be less
12
than that.
or some
Those
rubbish like
guys, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know if there are any teams there that, you know, like last year when you had who was it that went like 2-14,
Oh yeah. That would have been the Lions or some rubbish like that.
or the Jets.
It was the Jets.
Jets
yeah.
went like 12 games without
Or
a
even
win
like the
at
Jags.
start. Yeah.
The Jags. I mean,
Yeah.
that's how you end up with a Trevor Lawrence
Of course.
style
Of
quarterback
course.
in your team.
Yeah. So, who are you going for? The Giants or the Eagles? You take your pick.
Giants or Eagles? Giants or Eagles? I will say
It's not ip dip do.
Giants.
Okay.
I will say Giants third.
Fair.
No, I'm going to reverse what I said about a couple minutes ago. I reckon Saquon. I don't know. I want Daniel Jones to do well.
Yeah, yeah. That is true.
I see a bit of Eli in him, so it's like it's tough to root against him.
Okay. Well, that sounds good. Let's move on to the NFC South. And I think this is a tough one.
Really?
Well, the Saints, actually, no. Without Drew Brees, Saints, Bucks, Panthers, and Falcons.
I reckon this is hands down one of the easiest
Yeah.
to pick from.
Now,
I reckon the Bucks are going to storm this division, and all these teams have one of the easiest schedules in the league.
Oh, do they?
Yep. So Bucks have the third easiest, 29th hardest in the league, or something like that. Right. So
yeah.
Right. So in the sense that
Yeah, gotcha.
the lower number, but so I reckon the Bucks have retained like 22 or something starters.
Yeah. I mean, they're looking dangerous. And then Tom Brady still doesn't look like he's
that
aging.
wide receiver trio, Jesus, Evans, Godwin, AB.
Yeah.
Tough to stop that.
It is good.
Stop that. And then I don't know, man. The end of a Drew Brees era. It's gonna be weird watching the Saints.
It is, because they topped that division last year.
Yeah.
By some way, I think, as well, by a couple of games.
Yeah. But you could see like Brees was regressing.
Yeah, he was, but then I don't think we got the best of Alvin Kamara last year.
No.
And
But that being said, Michael Thomas has been faffing around for most of the summer, and now has decided, he needs surgery, so he's not going to be back till the end of September at the earliest.
yeah.
And I mean, as much as we like watching Jameis play,
Yeah, not good.
what Jameis are we going to get?
Do you think it'll be sort of like a dual responsibility between him and Taysom Hill? I could see it with Taysom Hill and Alvin Kamara being sort of that dual running back style threat.
Like a gadget player.
Yeah, but I can't see him carrying the Saints throughout the whole season.
No. I think the Saints, their success depends on whether Jameis Winston has learned to take care of the football.
Yeah.
If he has, then maybe.
He's a big interception thrower.
Oh, that game we went to.
Yeah.
4, 5 maybe?
What was that? That game finished like 7-7.
Yeah, it was crazy. So
yeah. So yeah, I think it's, well, we can talk about the Panthers as well, because CMC is back.
CMC is back.
But
question mark is Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Can he play? Can he play? Is the question. You take a man out of the Jets, but can you take the Jets out of the man is the question. Can he play football? We'll find out.
I mean, was he just the perfect fit for Jets?
That is true.
In terms of the level.
Yeah, right? So it's like, it's one of those things. It's like you can't properly evaluate a player till you put him into a decent organization.
No.
And say, okay, show me what you got. But former number 3 pick,
Yeah.
I think his chances are slowly starting to run out. Like, he has to do something now, right? Before, otherwise, like, he's done. So this is his chance. Will he step up and grab it?
We'll see. But I think, the fact that, was it Mike Davis last year that was the running back?
He's gone now.
He's gone. But with Christian McCaffrey, it will allow maybe a bit more sort of freedom for Sam Darnold.
For sure.
Teams will be expecting a bit of run and some passing as well.
Yeah.
Rather than just, passing for the majority of
And I think
games.
the good thing for Darnold is, across all key skill positions, you can say the Panthers represent an upgrade over whoever he had there for the Jets.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, I mean, the opportunity is there for Sam Darnold. Can he grab it and, maybe pick up one of the wild card spots?
Yeah.
That would be success for them. If Sam Darnold made the playoffs, considering how good that Bucks team is,
Yeah.
that would be them saying, right, let's lock him in. Going forward, this is our guy.
No, of course, but I'd say it's. Do you reckon it's fair to say that Falcons will finish 4th in the division?
See, Falcons, they have a good offense.
They do.
Right?
They do, but I think because of that, it's a toss-up between all 3 of them, and, any 3 could finish in the top 2.
Yeah. I think they all got their drawbacks. I would maybe, the Falcons probably worse on defense, but Matt Ryan is a known commodity. You know what you're going to get.
Dependable.
He will air that ball out. Calvin Ridley is a number 1 wide receiver and also on my fantasy team, right? I am stacked with studs up and down my roster. So Calvin Ridley is a number 1 wide receiver. There's no Julio anymore, right?
Yeah, there's not.
Calvin Ridley is going to take that ball and he's going to make it his in the air.
He will. He's
Pitts as well.
great.
Kyle Pitts, they got from Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the tight end, right?
Yeah, they're saying he's going to be fantastic. However, they have no one at running back. They have no one at running back.
No.
So that's the question. So all these teams, right? They all remind me of a team like this team could come here today and they could play really well and they might actually do something, or they could be terrible. And when I mean bad, I mean so bad you think, could they actually ever be this good?
Well, there you go. It could be any of the 3.
Definitely.
Who are you going for?
Let's go with the Panthers just because I have C-Mac.
I'm thinking that as well, and then I'd go Saints and then Falcons. I just think
I would agree with that because the Saints have Sean Payton. And a Sean Payton team is always going to do well. No matter, even without Drew Brees, Sean Payton's going to make sure his team is going to be well drilled. He's a professional guy. He will make sure his guys are ready week in, week out.
Of course. So yeah, that's our 4.
That's our 4.
Okay, let's move on to the next division, NFC West.
Now this is going to be exciting.
This is an exciting one, but also I'd say
I can't see past either the Rams or the 49ers. The other 2 aren't in it for my liking.
Do you think?
The other 2 are not in it.
I don't know, that Cardinals offense is exciting.
But at the end of last season, they did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
He can bring it sometimes, but I mean, how many times have we seen this? Rookie quarterback does well a few weeks, does badly second weeks. Now, the second season is going to be what kind of... He's either going to be really good or he's going to be terrible. But even then, I just think that you can't look past the Rams or the 49ers. They are 2 fantastic teams.
Yeah.
I say the Rams just because they got Stafford, but they have no running game.
They don't, but
Henderson is filling a void left by Akers.
He could be a utility, Right,
so, but he's got to be the number 1 guy now because there's no Akers.
Yeah.
Whereas San Francisco, question of whether Jimmy G is the guy going forward. They've drafted, I think, Trey Lance is his name.
I think so,
the quarterback. And the question is now, they have a running game, right? So the running game can take all the pressure off the quarterback. And that is a really good running game they got there with Mostert and whatnot. And even last year when players were going down, they had 3 or 4 different running backs come in and run for 100 plus yards. So the running game's fantastic. But I'm going to go with the Rams just for Stafford.
I think that is the obvious one. But can you rule out Russell Wilson?
You can't. But
with Metcalf having a great season last year and even Lockett.
Yeah. But the question is this. 2 guys have not practiced who are key to their team. Dwayne Brown, left tackle. Jamal Adams, safety. Right?
Fair.
They're both holding out for contracts.
Oh, okay.
I like Pete Carroll. I think he's one of the most likable guys in football. The question is, can he get these 2 guys to return at some point? I presume they will.
Yeah.
And how much of a disruption will that be to their team? Because you don't want Jamal Adams heating up in week 8. You want him ready to go first game of the season.
Of course.
It's in a division like this, I think the Rams and the 49ers, they are 11, 12 win teams. Easy. In a 17-game season, if the Rams go 12-5, I wouldn't be surprised. I think that's kind of the over-under. I think that's where it should be set.
What, realistic at the moment? Yeah, the realistic prediction.
Yeah.
For them. That's fair. I'd say so.
And so the question now is, I mean, Russell Wilson can do incredible things.
He can.
it's the team around him. It's one of those things. It's like, oh, Russell Wilson's just bailing them out at times, but can the rest of the cast help him? Because like being Russell Wilson's not enough now. You got to be Russell Wilson, but you got to have a team of Russell Wilsons at every position.
You
to compete
do
with the other two,
but you've got to remember he is just an incredible quarterback.
He is.
In itself, and it's not like he looks like he's declining.
No, not at all.
So,
But it's the play. I mean, like these defenses are stingy.
No,
you
no,
got Aaron Donald and whatnot running.
oh
at
yeah,
you.
no. The Rams defense is another thing, right? But that Seahawks team were putting up 400 plus yards in the passing game a few times last season. So,
But remember that game we were talking about? We were like covering it together during the postseason. They played Jared Goff and the Rams at CenturyLink Field, and they could not move the ball at all.
no,
And that was Jared Goff at probably his worst I've seen him. Like he just couldn't move the ball himself, but the Rams just suffocated that offense.
but that is one great defense.
That is. But I mean, like you're asking a lot from Wilson without other people's stuff. I know Wilson can deliver. The question is the rest of the team.
Yeah,
and I just think, you give the Rams Stafford, and it's just like,
it is. It's such
just
a
gonna
nice fit as well.
oh, it's going to be so good to watch. With Sean McVay, it's going to be great.
Stafford seems like the perfect quarterback for them. He's experienced and just the type of quarterback he is. He's not a massive guy who like throws.
He's
long
got
balls,
the arm. He can do it.
He can.
You just watch. He's going to be.
I look forward to it.
Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp are going to be eating all season.
But like I don't think we saw the best of him in the last few seasons at the Lions. So we'll see some good things from him this year. I'm going Rams, and then I back the 49ers defense because it just is solid, and their run game is, 2 seasons ago they made the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So you can't really write them off. Like their team hasn't changed much since then.
No, great team.
Yeah, they
Good coach.
Well, they suffered a lot of injuries last year.
They did. So
we'll see.
yeah, if we're looking at those as the top two, but we're talking 12, 13 win teams.
Yeah,
I think the Seahawks still going to have a good season. They'll make the playoffs.
They'll make
but
10, 11.
They're a 10-win team. They're a 10-7 is more accurate of where they are.
I still think the Cardinals are also a 10-7, maybe 9-8.
Yeah, I think they're more a 9-8 team, 8-9 team. I think like how we used to have the Rams under Jeff Fisher. It was 8-8 every season. I think that's where the Cardinals are heading. If JJ Watt bounces back, Chandler Jones plays well, then we can talk.
But Hopkins is still there.
James Conner has also gone there.
Yeah.
Can he stay fit? That's the question.
Well, he'll be the second running back.
He will.
After Chase Edmonds, who I loved in last year's fantasy.
Of course. It was a great pickup from you mid-season.
Yeah. I had both of them.
Yeah,
Kenyon Drake as well. Useless player. But yeah, I think that's our decided four then. It goes Rams, 49ers, Seahawks, Cardinals.
Yep.
I think that's fair. What conference is stronger?
Has to be. Let's look at these teams here. I would say the AFC. Right.
I think so.
We've got the Browns, the Bills, the Ravens.
Yeah.
Right. We got the Chiefs. Right. But look at the AFC West. There will be a team that ends up losing that. Oh, okay, there'll be 3 teams that end up losing that because the Chiefs are winning it. But those 3 teams aren't bad.
Well, the Broncos.
The Broncos are okay. They got Teddy Bridgewater now. They got Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They've finally got a healthy Von Miller.
Yeah.
They've got a healthy Bradley Chubb.
We'll come on to.
But I think it's a good conference. It's stacked. And they don't have the Detroit Lions. But they do have the Houston Texans. And with all the controversy around
I think it's mad.
Deshaun Watson.
It's mad.
That's the thing. But I reckon AFC is the better conference.
Yeah. Well, we can start off with the AFC North.
Gladly,
your boys.
Gladly, my boys.
Your boys. Finished.
Likely Ben's final season?
Do you think?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. He's come back for one more. And then he's done.
He suffered with a few injuries last year, didn't he?
Yeah, well, it was the elbow surgery the season before.
Yeah,
which really had an impact on his
Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, so
got clattered in the head.
Yeah, so in replacement of him. So yeah, definitely affected by that elbow injury.
Mm-hmm.
He looks good at the moment, size-wise, looks good. Offense looked good during preseason games, the drives that they played. So I'm hopeful, but we've lost a few players, right?
Yeah.
Offensive line again. DeCastro, right? 8-9 seasons, fantastic, right? For us, yeah. Retired now. Pro Bowl player multiple times, right? Yeah. Pro Bowl player multiple times, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, All Pro, whatever. Great player. Same with Pouncey. Pouncey's done now. Pouncey is also retired.
Oh, has he?
Yep.
Okay.
Pro Bowl, All Pro, once again. 2 massive pieces.
Yeah.
Can we replace them? That's the question. Villanueva's no longer there. Although the last 2 seasons, Villanueva hasn't been up to scratch. So that's
No, you've lost a lot of pieces from your defense over the last few
Yes.
seasons, haven't you?
Bud Dupree is also
Bud
gone.
Dupree, yeah.
Steven Nelson, the cornerback, is also gone. Mike Hilton, one of my favourite blitzing slot corners in the league, also gone. However, we have a running back now.
Najee.
G. Harris, man, he's going to be good,
Yeah.
but can we block for him is the question.
Well, that's always a question, isn't it? It's a similar question to Saquon at the Giants.
Yeah.
Is can the O-line hold up?
And I don't know, a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know how good the Steelers will be this season, whatnot. I have to say, Big Ben has never had a losing record in the season, right?
Has he not?
He's never gone under 500, right? And even when our teams like when we had like one of the worst defenses in the league when I first started watching like American football 2014, 2015,
Yeah.
we had an amazing O-line, right? Like DeCastro, Pouncey, right? Ramon Foster, yeah? And these guys were just standing there blocking for Ben, and Ben was stepping back, throwing it. Now it's going to be a bunch of slants and whatnot.
Yeah.
It'll be quick throws to Juju or Najee Harris or
Do you think,
Claypool.
we're talking about Juju, do you think he'll have a good season?
I think he will, but I think there are unrealistic expectations on him because when he came into the league,
Yeah.
we were a much different offense, and that was Ben stepping back and slinging it, right?
Well,
we
he
had AB
had-
and
yeah.
Juju, right?
Yeah.
And AB, like, that was the period of if you went to AB, right, you could not put one guy on him. You had to put 2 guys on him. So Juju was feasting.
Well, it's similar to what the Packers do with Devontae
yeah.
Adams. You know, that it opens up so much space for players like Valdez Scantling and
Right.
all these guys. So
And so now, but Juju's roles evolve now. He's a strong guy. Like, remember that hit on Vontaze Burfict? I think that
Yeah.
sums Juju up. Juju is a strong guy. People think, oh, because he dances and does TikToks and whatnot, he's a bit of a soft player. Now this guy's a fighter. And now, but when you got like Claypool and Deontay Johnson on the outside, Juju's going to work in the slot. He's very good at that.
yeah,
But you obviously have to remember then he's going to become more of like a safety blanket. You know, you throw it to him, Juju, in a tight situation, he'll make the catch or not.
he'll
But
be
he's
like
not
a third down sort of
right. But
receiver.
he'd be really important on third downs. But even on like how like Witten was Tony Romo's blanket, right?
Yeah.
Like whenever Romo was in trouble, we go to Witten, right?
Of course.
And so the thing now is people can't expect Juju to be going 50, 60 yards on like a reception because he's not going to run those routes.
No.
Right? That's a Claypool route. Johnson's an intermediate one, 25, 30, on mixing it up. Juju's going to be 10, 15 yards over the field.
Yeah.
That's what Juju's going to be.
Who do you put your number one receiver on?
If he can sort out his drops, Deontay Johnson.
Because he is listed as wide receiver 1.
Yeah. And Claypool is the X factor, right? Claypool's the guy you
Deep
target.
throws.
Right, you target him down the field a couple times a game. He comes up with 2 of those.
Yeah.
The game changes, right? Because you're talking 50, 60 yard completion.
Of course.
And he can't be stopped then. But I guess the other guys will be volume guys, right? You'll be seeing a lot of balls getting chucked the way of Deontay Johnson and Juju Smith-Schuster.
I don't know who's messing about with their revving cars outside.
That's the Steelers faithful. They've pulled up.
Well, there's still 2 or 3 other good teams in that division.
There are. I would say this is the best division quarterback-wise.
Would you?
Baker's not bad.
Yeah, good thrower.
Joe Burrow last year.
Decent.
Lamar Jackson might not be able to
He's
throw,
different,
but
yeah.
they can't stop him.
Yeah.
I also drafted him this year. I've always hated Lamar Jackson
Aye,
just
aye.
because he plays for the Ravens, but he's a talent. What can I say?
Well, that is the thing. If we get MVP Lamar Jackson, you know, that's a different story now. I don't know if he can continue. I think teams have sort of slightly figured them out because they don't have, well, they have J.K. Dobbins at running back, but there's no big threat. So it's either going to be sort of like a very basic pass from Lamar Jackson or a run.
But even like, I guess you see him throw sometimes. It's not a clean spiral, but like,
No.
the threat of Lamar Jackson maybe like tucking the ball under his arm and running 35, 40 yards on like a 3rd and 7
Yeah.
is so much so that like the defense is just like back off and you end up getting like a wide open receiver because he'll like he'll scramble a bit and like the whole defense will move.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, like, he doesn't have to throw a pretty ball if this guy's like 10 yards free, right? With no one around him to run like 30, 40 yards down the field. But so, yeah, I mean, like, he's a weapon. He uses his legs to his advantage. Okay, so what? He's not the greatest thrower of the ball. Yeah, I hope he keeps that up. Well, there aren't fantasy implications, but
Well, there'll be fantasy implications for you throughout the
that's
season,
when
right?
Ryan Tannehill comes in. But we'll get to him in a bit.
Fair. Yeah. Well, what are you saying for that division then? Because I still think
Ravens are winning the division. The Steelers and the Ravens are two of the best run organizations in the NFL. Consistently, no matter what injuries they have, they put out teams who play hard.
Yeah.
And they have the respect of most of the NFL. Right? These are two-story franchises. The Bengals and the Browns over the last few seasons, they've been up and down. The Browns especially, but I mean the Browns are on the up. They've got Jadeveon Clowney now.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll make much of a difference. He hasn't since he come into the league, despite being the number 1 pick. But Myles Garrett, they're saying saying Myles Garrett might be as good as TJ Watt. That remains to be seen. I think TJ Watt's better.
We've still got time to see it.
Yeah. So that's the question. I reckon the Bengals will be better, but the Bengals will be last. I reckon the Bengals will probably finish maybe 8 or 9, 8 or 9. Let's say 8 or 9 because it's very weird to have a division with 4 teams with a positive record. Also, these 4 teams, the Steelers have the hardest record in the NFL.
Oh yeah, I saw
Strength of
that.
schedule.
I saw that.
The Ravens are also there. Basically, all 4 teams are there within the top 10.
Well, yeah, that's the thing though. When you have a tough division, of course it's going to be like that because you've got to go and play those teams twice in the season, so it makes sense. But
and because we finished first last year, in the division,
yeah,
we've got like first in like the corresponding divisions.
That is the order of how I've put the teams.
So swap the Ravens and the Steelers around, and I reckon I think Steelers will finish second. I think Ravens will win it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there'll be much difference between the Steelers and the Browns. Baker can be good, Baker can also be terrible, and I love it when he's terrible, but I don't know, man. Maybe Baker's matured. I mean, they went on a good run last season.
We'll see.
Kareem Hunt, Chubb.
Yeah. Good little offense going on there.
If Chubb wants to get injured, that is fine by me. Kareem Hunt is sitting on my fantasy bench, ready to go.
Why have you got him?
He's going to be a monster. Did you see him at the end of last season?
Yeah.
He was crazy good.
Yeah, but Chubb's obviously number 1 there.
But I feel like they split it pretty well.
They do split it, but not 50-50. It's more like a 66-33.
Right, but
sort of.
The upside, right? 1 run for Kareem Hunt is all he needs. He's such a powerful guy.
He does, yeah. He has those big plays, doesn't he?
And especially in the end zone, because that's where the points are, aren't they?
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, I would say, I mean, like another person without like a Steelers bias might be inclined to put the Browns ahead of us. But if we're talking about like organizations and the way they run themselves, yeah. I'm gonna give it to us. But
I'm tempted to say the Browns
a good man could say that. I really wouldn't have much of an argument, but it will be close. Yeah. It'll be a really good watch. That's what I'm really interested in.
Well, I think this, along with the NFC West will be,
2 good divisions to watch. See how they really, because you might get one team who start off like really badly, but they really come through at one point, depending on the schedule and whatnot. So it will be good. But I'd just like to say before we move on, in his career, Big Ben, he has absolutely owned these 3. I mean, his record against the Ravens is 17-11, which is still pretty good.
Yeah, of course.
That is, if a team was like 17-11 over a 28 game stretch, you'd be like, that's amazing.
Well,
that's his worst one of all the 3. He's lost 3 games. He's 24-3-1 or something against the Browns.
But he's played in an era of just like a very, very consistent, solid Steelers.
He has owned those franchises. At one point, over like the past 10 years, he had the most wins of any quarterback at their stadium.
Yeah.
Which is just funny. Can you imagine playing week in, week out? The guy who plays at your stadium like once a season has more victories than you.
That is funny.
So yeah, but I mean, Bengals. I feel like we should give them some quick airtime. Joe Burrow, exciting prospect.
Yep.
Got some good receivers. Higgins and co.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd.
Mm-hmm.
Got to be good. Defensively, will they hold up? Don't know.
We'll see. I think that's with a lot of those teams, they have the up-and-coming quarterbacks, the potential threats in the wide receiver position. It's just the defense
Of the three, who do you reckon's going to end up being the best quarterback?
of.
Burrows, Jackson, and Baker.
I think Baker Mayfield.
I think Burrows.
It could
And-
be.
And
Obviously,
in
he
his
hasn't
career,
played.
definitely will be Burrows. I reckon Burrows is always going to be a better quarterback. Than
Yeah, I mean, I
Baker.
think overall, but at the end of their careers, I think Lamar Jackson will be last, just because I think the style he plays isn't, it's not a long term.
It's not sustainable,
It's
is
not.
it?
No, you can't run like you don't see any of the top quarterbacks being able to run for their whole career.
Yeah.
You take guys like, I mean, Stafford's a good, he can scramble fairly well, but he's not sustaining.
Oh, Ben could move it back in the day.
Could he?
The first few seasons, Ben could pick up, like, there was a game, they played the Broncos,
Yeah.
and they faked the handoff, and Ben just, like, kind of wheeled around and ran in, and I was like, geez, this guy's got speed. I was obviously watching it back many years later,
Yeah.
and now, like, even now, like, I mean, he's known as Big Ben, he could, like, knock people off, scrab with it, but now he'd knock people off and just chuck it deep, because...
Yeah. He's not
The-
got the legs, but
the
it
legs aren't there.
isn't sustainable. You're right. Yeah. Well, I think that's enough Steelers talk for today.
Yeah. Man, you
Mate.
got me excited for the season. Start the season now.
Yeah. Whoa. Another sort of one-sided division.
Yep. I mean, look, Belichick. No one doubts the legend of Belichick, right?
And they've improved their team so much this offseason that, I think, I mean, it's tough to pick the second best team, but I think they could
They
finish
got
second.
I think they had the most holdouts over COVID
Yeah.
during last season,
Oh, okay.
and so like they got people like Hightower and Kovac, key linebacker.
hmm
Obviously, got rid of Cam, Mac Jones time.
I don't understand that because Cam Newton's a quality quarterback. He was
Cam
at one
Newton
point
last season was okay,
was okay, but
maybe it's
reliable
just time to. But
ish.
if given his track record,
hmm
not just with Brady, but with Jimmy G. If Belichick says to you, this is a young quarterback, this is my guy, I want him going forward, do you doubt that?
No, you don't.
I'm thinking,
No.
wow, there must be something special about Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Because Alabama quarterbacks don't normally come to the league and actually end up doing well,
hmm
right? But Mac Jones is now here, and Belichick's put his faith in him. So you
Yeah.
know that team's going to play well.
They will
Whoever they
because-
got on the
because
the
of
field,
Bill Belichick.
right? The
Yeah,
guy's
yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. He has their defense set up. I think he brought in a few key players, a few key positions, and
Also on my fantasy team.
you've got.
I
the
went
Patriots.
for the Pats.
There.
I'm going to have to switch them out when they play the Bills. Maybe, perhaps.
Yeah,
That's an explosive team. But when they play the
it
Jets,
is, but
I'm
the
eating.
Bills. Let's go to the Bills. Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs.
Oh,
It's
it's
just
a good team, isn't
it's
it?
just that combo. Plus, add Cole Beasley into that. He's so underrated last year. He was incredible.
Cole Beasley, another good player,
Yeah,
right? He was he did okay in Dallas, right? They liked him.
he did.
He's come here, he's done really well. But geez, if there's not a player I want to fail more than Cole Beasley,
Really?
Cole Beasley is like the most prominent anti-vaxxer in the league.
Oh, I've heard
he
about
is
this.
always
Yeah.
talking nonsense. Honestly.
There's a chance he might not play this year.
Honestly, can the NFLPA not just find a doctor to talk to Cole Beasley and explain to him the dangers of COVID and just ask him to get the vaccine? Back to Cole Beasley.
Back to Cole Beasley.
Look, man, just take the vaccine, bro. It's not going to kill you, okay?
Yeah.
COVID will kill you,
Potentially.
but the effects will definitely be much worse.
Yeah.
And the NFL protocol with unvaccinated players, right?
Yeah.
If you're a close contact, you can't play. You're on the reserve list
of course.
for 5 to 10 days or something. If you are a close contact and you're vaccinated, unless you return a positive test, you can still play. So, from a footballing sense, from a footballing perspective, it makes sense.
Well, surely if that's the case, like teams would stop paying players if there's a risk of it. But then
So there's something like, I think the Bucks are now 100% vaccinated.
they are. Yeah, I saw that today.
Most teams, I think the league average about 89%.
Yeah, it's fairly high.
But I think the Bills are one of the lowest teams, as are like one of the other teams. They're like 4 teams who are like below that.
Yeah.
One is like the 80s or like slightly lower. But yeah, I just want a good football season. So I would I would urge football players to, prioritize their health, get the vaccine, and let's watch some football, man. Because last season, how many times, before the game, because obviously there was no vaccine, so someone tests positive.
Yeah.
That player was out for 2 weeks, and you're like, damn, man, that's a good player. He's missing a big game.
There were some games even rescheduled, weren't there?
Yep. The Steelers-Ravens happened on like a Tuesday, was it?
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday?
It was strange. It was like Wednesday.
I was watching it at like 6 p.m. on a Tuesday. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Wednesday, I think it was.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
So, prioritize your health. Look after your teammates. Football's a team game, right? Yeah. Send the right message to the fans. Let's get some football.
Of course. Let's do it.
But yeah, the Jets, dumpster fire as always.
Yeah. And I don't know about the Dolphins, Tua, if he sorts it out.
Can he be good? Is the question.
No, you know what? Miles Gaskin, I think he'll be phenomenal this year. Like, maybe not a top sort of 10 running back, but for the Dolphins,
good.
Yeah, good. He's on my fantasy.
And someone to take the load off Tua when he gets stuck.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's no more Fitzmagic.
No, where's he gone now?
Fitzmagic is now the quarterback of the Washington football team.
Of course, and he's gonna throw it about loads.
It's gonna be fun to watch them play.
Yeah,
in an otherwise terrible division.
So yeah, what are we saying?
Bills first.
Of course, Bills.
Josh Allen, MVP contender as well.
Yeah, he is. Like I'd say
second behind Mahomes.
He is
above Brady, I would say, because Brady kicks in when it's postseason.
Brady kicks in
season.
What, like
week 14, right?
Games,
yeah. Like after that bye week, it's Tom Brady time.
Yeah. I'm going the Patriots because of Bill Belichick and how he set his team up.
I will concur.
And then the Dolphins and then Jets. I think it will be a bit closer than we think between the Dolphins and the Patriots.
Oh, it will be a game if not even two. It'll be a game.
But the Jets
maybe they'll be tied.
I'm looking 2-15, 3-14. That level max.
Definitely. Rookie quarterback as well, so we'll be interested.
Of course,
see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the
AFC South.
Yeah.
The Texans are a mess. And that franchise over the last 2 seasons has just fallen away.
Well, they've gone from Deshaun Watson, who he threw for the most yards last year. A very good quarterback.
Oh yeah,
very good.
Oh, fantastic quarterback.
Right, no team around him.
Yeah, and now his personal issues have overtaken him.
Exactly, and they're
22 separate cases.
Really?
Against him, so we're gonna model through that, and justice will prevail one way or another, and then we'll see how we evaluate the Texans there. But Brandon Cooks that guy's just going to be... He's got no one to throw to him because I don't think Watson will play.
No, he won't. Who is their quarterback? What's his name?
Oh, it's Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
It is Tyrod
I think
Taylor.
That is an awful move. Like, surely there are better quarterbacks available.
I like Tyrod Taylor. He runs around, he guns it.
But this is like a Tyrod Taylor from a few years ago, I think he's past his sell-by date.
And then obviously they've lost the pieces of the defense that was so popular for so long, like JJ.
Yeah.
No more
you
like
can't
Brian
replace
Cushing, Vince Wilfork. Those guys aren't there anymore. So,
but like a player like JJ Watt is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
Like the leader of the defense.
Look, when JJ Watt realized, okay, it's time, a city that he loves so much, when he realized, okay, it makes footballing sense for me to bail on this franchise. Oh, not even bail, or just leave this franchise. Because he didn't bail on them. They let him down.
Mm-hmm.
You probably think okay, this is not a ship you want to stay on for too long because it is going down.
Of course. Well, the other teams. What do you think of the Jags and Trevor Lawrence?
Man, Trevor Lawrence. I think he's like the highest rated prospect ever coming out of high school, going to college football. So,
and he did great in college.
At Clemson, he lost once, maybe.
I think
lost once. National
he had a
championship
great record.
Game?
Yeah.
Yep. He's one of. I guess he just because I started watching 2014, 2015. Yeah. One of the first players that actually covered throughout their college career, being like, "Oh wait, wow, I can't wait to see this guy in the pros," right? Because he came in with such fanfare, to college football, and I think he'll be great. But I think he'll be great eventually.
I mean, I still think
problems as a rookie,
but I think that Jags offense has some weapons. Robinson,
Laviska Shenault,
Shenault,
Travis Etienne. the
Yeah.
running back from Clemson.
He's injured though.
He's injured for the season. So
Yeah.
that's a big loss because
Yeah.
that was
But
their other
no,
first round pick.
But Robinson still had an amazing season last
but
year.
as a dual threat, those two would have been fantastic
Yeah, yeah.
because that Travis is like something else.
I haven't seen much of him, but I've heard a lot about him.
Like, yeah, Clemson wasn't all Trevor. Travis was there too.
Yeah. That's a good little double pickup for them.
Yeah, very good. So yeah, questions remain on defense.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a good season for the Jags is, or you can't go 500 anymore, but just a game under or over 500 would be a success, right? Because that's a building. If like Trevor can have a really good, if Trevor has a Justin Herbert style rookie year, the hype is real. Guys, get ready. Jacksonville are going to finally be good, right? Not just that one season with Blake Bortles.
No. And then maybe they can become the London team and we can actually enjoy some good football. But I think the Titans are always dependable as usual.
Yeah, I reckon. I think the Titans are going to win this. The
I hope
so. Stacked.
They
oh
are.
My
they are with,
gosh!
Obviously, that trio of Tannehill, Derrick Henry, AJ Brown,
and now you add Julio to the mix.
Julio Jones. Yeah,
it's going to be so good. And I really like Tannehill.
Yeah,
I liked him at Miami. He wasn't fantastic, but he's come to Tennessee and he has completely revitalized his career.
I think that's partly due to even Derrick Henry. And
Having Henry is a massive help. Teams are scared. He batters teams.
Yeah.
Right, like, it's one of those things. You wake up in the morning like, I'm ready to play. Fucking 4 drives through with Derrick Henry running up and down the field at you, yeah?
I know.
You're just like, hand the ball off, and then Tannehill starts stretching the field.
And you've got to wait until sort of winter Derrick Henry. It is ridiculous. I think there's no better player playing in the snow than Derrick Henry because he is just a monster.
Yeah.
And phenomenal.
I mean, one day obviously the impacts will take their toll on Henry.
No,
too,
he's built like a brick wall.
It's not happening this season.
I'm sorry, it's not happening for another 3-4 seasons in my opinion because he is a machine.
If I'm an NFL defender, that's the last thing I want to hear.
Yeah, that is true. But he's in my fantasy, so I'll keep praising him.
I've picked up Tannehill as a second quarterback.
He's got great wide receivers to throw to.
Tannehill has been money.
Yes.
Especially towards the end of the season for the last few years. When he starts, he'll come up with a good stat line.
Yeah.
200, maybe like 200 yards, but he'll get like 3 or 4 touchdowns. Because the defense will stack the box when you get in the red zone, right? To stop Henry.
Yeah.
And Tannehill, little dink and dunk, and he's done. It's a touchdown on the board. So it'll be really good.
He is money.
It will be really good.
Well,
Colts as well?
Colts, yeah. Solid team.
Now, can they actually, Carson Wentz revitalize his career is the question.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Carson Wentz.
No?
No. I think that might have been shadowed by the fact that over the last year or two, he's just not been as good as he was.
Well, he only just got foot surgery as well. But he should be ready for week 1.
Pre-injury, I liked him. Like he was that season where, the season before the Eagles' long Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
Well, they won it.
No, it was the season of the Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
MVP. He was basically the MVP up to that point until he got injured.
Until Nick Foles came in.
Yep.
Yeah. I
don't want to say his nickname.
What is his nickname? I couldn't hear that. The mic put that up. I'm definitely taking that out, but yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna end up in that same order. Apart from the Jags will finish 3rd, Texans 4th.
I think the Colts are a solid team.
Yeah,
but that offense on the Titans, man, I'm so excited to watch the Titans play.
Of course. Well, there you go. I think Titans a dark horse.
Yep, definitely.
As they were last year as well. I had them down as a dark horse last year. I think
the defense had them down.
Yeah.
If they can have a defense which might give up yards, but is just limiting teams to like field goals and whatnot.
Yeah.
The offense is so overpowered that they can just stack points throughout the game. We're looking at high scoring games, but them coming out on top quite convincingly.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the last but not least.
AFC West.
Yeah. And I think it's it's an easy one, right?
Yeah.
Because the Chiefs don't go into second gear until about week 13. And then they slightly go into second gear and they're still scoring 40 plus points. And then by postseason, they're looking like a very solid team.
Definitely. You don't bet against Mahomes, do you?
No, and it's not even Mahomes. Like
Tyreek. It's just,
Kelsey, their defense,
Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah,
on my fantasy team.
He'll have a stronger season than he did last year. Obviously,
less injuries.
He's he's growing into it a bit more. I think they're just that whole offense is giving him more responsibility, which has been good for them because he's grown into it and he'll do a great job this year for them, along with.
And the defense is underrated.
Oh yeah.
It's a top 10 defense, but people just think, they do well on paper because how good that
they're
offense
a great
is.
team.
They're a great team. Andy Reid's a great coach.
I think they had the most touchdowns as a defense. Last year,
yeah.
Which to add
That's
points,
an important metric.
Yeah,
right?
you know what? To add points
to a defense, to an offense that teams struggle to stop.
Yeah,
right? It's just like
you're already scoring, 30, 40 points.
Yeah.
Add a pick six or
like 4 or 5 points a game
or a fumble recovery. It's just impressive.
The last thing you want to do against the Chiefs is give them possession on your field, on your side of the field.
Yeah.
Because 20 yards for Patrick Mahomes to go score a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean,
you got to make it harder than that. You could put them back on their 1 yard line, and that team is coming away with something.
Most likely,
when he's cooking, week 14, when it's time, right, when the money's on the line, Pat Mahomes is coming through.
Mm-hmm. I think it's clear to say they're going to finish top.
Yep.
And I think second might be a toss-up between the Raiders and the Chargers, potentially.
Yeah. I don't think there is a single person in the NFL who doesn't feel bad for the Chargers for how many close games they lose.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
This is the team that is king of losing those close games. As good as the Titans are at winning close games, the Chargers are terrible at it. Missed kicks, right? Fumbles, interceptions, right? They've got it all. But when it comes to that final play of the game.
Yeah. But now take a second season Justin Herbert.
Oh, he's going to be good.
Keenan Allen. Eckler's back for the full season.
Yep.
I think that could be a nice little trio.
Yep. Eckler, fantastic.
Is Hunt Henry at the Chargers?
He is now at the Pats.
Oh yeah, who's their tight end?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember, but even those three alone.
Oh yeah,
very solid.
They're gonna ball.
Yeah, they will. It's one of those teams that like when you think about football and you think of FIFA Street style.
Yeah.
It's like that.
That is, right.
It's similar to, I feel like the Chiefs do it as well. They just play for fun.
They have style.
Yeah.
Right? But the Chargers are the Chiefs but with injuries.
Yeah.
Without the stability.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess without the experience of knowing how to win a game. Because the Chiefs know how to win a game.
Yeah, they do.
The Chiefs will blow you out the first quarter and then they'll just take it easy.
Or
they'll take it easy and blow you out in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And the game's over.
Mm.
So yeah. But I don't know, man. I like the Chargers. Can they stop being the Chargers is the question though.
I think so. Just a bit more experience for Justin Herbert and he'll learn how to manage games and manage to win games.
Yeah. Just
on his own.
But we saw it so many times with Rivers, right? And when we saw it with Herbert last season, he had a fantastic game and somehow they still lose. And guy puts up that sort of stat line.
Yeah, 4 or 5 touchdowns.
And his team loses?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It's unfortunate, but I guess it's the timing of when you look for big drives or when you're looking to sort of run down the clock. Yeah. I think he'll learn to do that a bit more.
And comeback player of the year candidate on that team, Derwin James, the safety.
Yeah.
Unreal rookie season, been injured the last 2 seasons, so we'll have to see what happens, man. But
we'll see.
That guy, they say, is he a cornerback? Is he a safety? Is he a linebacker? And the coach was like, he's just all three. He can be whatever I want him to be.
You're lucky when you have one of those players that can play anywhere on defense.
Oh yeah, that kind of player. Yeah. He's not a positional player. He's a ball player. He will find that ball, no matter where you put him. He will find that ball. You can't keep him away. No. So it'll be really good to see the Chargers play.
Yeah,
Herbert. I mean, he looks fantastic. He was rated like
He does.
He was like 38th, I think, in the top 100 players this season.
No way.
Rated by the
Already?
players. Yeah.
Wow.
Second year, like no one expected him to be that good his first season.
No.
Because I mean, like people are like, oh, this guy's a decent player, but like I guess they looked at him how we're looking at like Fields or something, right?
Yeah.
Like this guy could be really good down the road. Or even, I mean, Fields' prospect at the start of his season this year is higher than Herbert's was last season. But Herbert's shocked us, man.
I think he's just been allowed to play. Which has been the good part. But the Raiders,
decent team,
can challenge sort of.
Jacobs, solid.
Yeah.
Derek Carr was alright last season.
I think he's an underrated quarterback as well. Like he's consistently solid.
But then he has his moments.
He has moments, yeah.
They've got some good wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Ruggs and co.
Yeah.
Renfro is not bad. Nice, nifty slot guy.
Mm-hmm.
Defense questions. Will they do it? You're looking at 3 decent teams.
I think so, yeah.
And literally, it will come down. The records might differ by a fair bit in the end, but it's going to come down to a bunch of how they do in one-score games.
Yeah.
All 3 of these teams will be involved in a hell of a lot of one.
The Broncos as well. Yeah.
Oh, last year, so many one-score games for them.
And you mentioned the amount of players that they've got back now this year. You know,
and they got Teddy Bridgewater now. That's an upgrade on Drew Lock. Teddy B was good for the Saints when he played.
He was, but
and he was good for the Panthers before he got injured.
It's that injury.
Yeah, the Achilles. But I like Teddy Bridgewater. He might be able to do something. They got Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton.
Yeah,
can't remember. They got a good team.
It's a nice team. A
very nice team.
So who you going for?
Oh, Chiefs.
No, well, we knew that. The second, third, and fourth.
It has to be Saudi, just in case the people didn't get us. Let's go with the Chargers.
I'm going with the Chargers as well.
Chargers, Broncos, Raiders.
Oh, I'm going Chargers, Raiders, Broncos.
Just because I think that there's enough of an X factor about Justin Herbert that they can win these one-score games. Yeah, and they can't lose them forever, can they? Come on, they got to win some at some point.
At some point, they will. They will. We also have a Cab sat up there.
Yes.
Who do you think? Pick your team.
Pick my team.
Yeah, who's gonna win?
Well, I mean, you guys will kill me if I don't say Green Bay.
No. Any team, innit? Any team.
I will kill you if you say the Green Bay Packers because they're not winning.
Any team.
I think Kablan's NFL knowledge runs as deep as Tom Brady, so I think Kablan will go with the Bucks.
Okay, yeah.
You know Cabs, you know Tom Brady, don't you? There we go. Cabs knows Tom Brady. Cabs is going with the Bucks.
Cabs is going for the Bucks.
That's a solid pick, Cabs. Better than Argentina.
Yeah, it's a better pick than mine, maybe. I'm looking forward to the NFL. I know you are.
Very excited. Even more so for fantasy football.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to this year because we've switched it up a bit.
We switched up.
Smaller league.
More talent available to teams.
I've got a great team.
Me too, man. I'm loving my team.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
It's good having you on.
Thank you very much, mate.
We will most likely have another podcast soon.
Yeah, maybe a pre-playoff one.
Maybe.
And before that.
Maybe.
Whatever the Ashes.
Oh.
At some point.
Yeah. There's plenty of sports coming.
A lot of sport to look forward to, isn't there?
There is, yeah. Well,
T20 World Cup.
Of course. Oh, yeah, of course. Cabs will be on for that one.
Of course.
Of course he will. Thanks
guys.
Everyone for listening, actually. Make sure to... This is going out everywhere. It'll be on YouTube.
It'll be everywhere.
It'll be on Spotify. It'll be on Google.
My face will be plastered all over the internet.
It'll be zoomed in on his face.
And thank you to our studio audience of 1 today.
Wow. See you all later.